I'm going to share with you 10 real Amazon FBA seller results, including what each of their product is, how much it cost each of them to start their Amazon business, as well as how much money they've made selling on Amazon, including their revenue, all their costs, and their final profit. And these are real everyday Amazon sellers, people just like you and me, and some of them failed and some of them have succeeded on Amazon. And I'm sharing all these stories with you so that we can decide, is Amazon FBA a scam? So smash the like button, because this is the only video where you're gonna get to see the real side of selling on Amazon, including some of the failures. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Travis, and I'm gonna share my story first, share my real honest results, and then we're gonna go one by one and share all of these sellers' results. And I've been an e-commerce entrepreneur for about 10 years, but around 5 years ago, I launched my first passion product on Amazon, and it did really well. My first year selling on Amazon, I did over $300,000 in revenue selling this product. But a big thing that you're gonna see in this video is that there are a lot of costs associated with selling on Amazon. After you subtract all the costs, in my first year, I did over $100,000 in profit. And in total, I did over $1 million in revenue, over $400,000 in profit selling this nut butter product on Amazon. And this business wasn't cheap to start. It ended up costing me around $22,000. But I did do a Kickstarter where I raised around $15,000. So out of my own pocket, it was only around $7,000 or $10,000 that I had to spend, which is still a lot of money. And there are success stories we're gonna talk about later where they were able to start with much less money, including AJ, who started with $0 and was able to do over $500,000 in his first year. He has an amazing success story on Amazon, and we'll get to his story in just a minute. I ended up selling this Amazon business for a good chunk of change, and since then I've started a number of other Amazon businesses / partnered with people to help them start Amazon businesses. But these last few years, a big part of my focus has been teaching other people how to start their own online business, how to create their own Amazon FBA passion product. And I do have a coaching program. I just opened up 50 spots for that. There is a link down below in the description. I am going to be closing registration for this program next Tuesday at midnight. I only open this up every few months and I limit the number of spots that are available. So if you want more information about that Amazon FBA program, click on the link down below. But after I had created my Amazon FBA business and I saw that I was having some success, I ended up helping my girlfriend at the time create her own Amazon FBA business called Vino Cards. This was a set of flashcards that had wine information on the front and the back of them. And this business was a bit of a failure compared to my Amazon business. She had around $10,000 in expenses to get this business started, but she did a Kickstarter and raised $5,000. So it ended up only being around $5,000 out of her own pocket to start this Amazon FBA business. And in her first year, she did over $24,000 in revenue. And once you subtract out all the costs of selling on Amazon, she ended up making a profit of $6,000 in her first year selling on Amazon, which compared to the $100,000 I made is a little bit of a failure. And you at home might be thinking at this point, maybe Amazon FBA is a scam. She only made $6,000. But you have to keep in mind, after she launched the business, it was relatively passive income and she didn't really work that hard on the business. You'll see in just a minute, AJ had a very similar product, but he put in the work. He did social media, he did a bunch of things like that, and he ended up doing over $500,000 in sales in his first year, even though his product was very similar to Vino Cards. So at this point, you might be wondering, does that mean that Amazon FBA is a scam if someone can't just launch a product and make 6 figures in profit overnight? And we'll talk more about this throughout the video, but keep in mind, it's very important to pick a good product, to pick a winning product. And Performance Nut Butter, my first passion product, was a better product than Vino Cards. But keep in mind, even if you don't have an amazing product, if you know how to do marketing, you know how to do social media, you can still make a ton of money. And that's what AJ did. AJ was an out of work bartender. He lost his job during the pandemic and he ended up joining my Amazon FBA program so that he could pay the bills. And one thing I do is when people join my Amazon FBA program, if it seems like a good fit, I'll partner with them on a product. And I had an idea for this product called Cocktail Cards, which is very similar to Vino Cards, but it was flashcards teaching people how to create cocktails. And AJ didn't have a lot of money to start this business, so he ended up doing an Indiegogo, which is very similar to a Kickstarter. It's a way that people can pre-purchase your product before you ever spend money on manufacturing or anything like that. And he ended up raising over $100,000 on Indiegogo, which more than paid for all his startup costs. After that, he started selling on Amazon on his own website, and in his first year, he did over $500,000 in sales, over $100,000 in profit. And this isn't even the biggest student success story. Later in this video, I'll be talking about Brent, and he created a product called SearPro, and last year alone, he did over $1 million in sales. And if you are interested in partnering on a product, I highly recommend joining my Amazon FBA program. Right now, I'm only partnering with people that are in my Amazon FBA program because I only want to partner with people that are really committed to having success. And what I've noticed again and again is people that don't pay for things don't pay attention. I have a ton of free videos here on YouTube, and most people that watch my videos, they never actually end up launching an Amazon business, and this really bothers me. And this is one of the reasons why I really recommend you join my Amazon FBA program, because when you pay some money to join my Amazon program, you're gonna actually be committed to launching, and you're not just gonna give up as soon as things get hard. Again, link to that down below in the description. But I'm gonna be honest with you, not every single person that joins my program has a ton of success. It's all up to you. If you put in the hard work, you're going to get the results. If you don't, you're not gonna get the results. And Logan and Leanne launched a product called Bathrobe Curls. And their product was a bit of a flop. And they actually had a good idea for a product, but there were some issues on how they created the business and did their marketing. They invested over $3,000 to start their Amazon business. And in their first 3 months, they only had 6 sales. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a huge red flag. This is a common mistake that new sellers make. When you first launch your product, you need to have a bunch of people ready to buy your product, even if it's just friends and family. Now, technically, it's against the rules to have friends and family buy your product on Amazon and leave a review. But if Amazon doesn't know that it's your friends or your family, then you're fine. And the big thing is, you just want to make sure that you've never shared a Wi-Fi connection with anyone that's buying your product and leaving a review. But the real way to do this, and the best way to do this, is to create some kind of social media and to get a following, to collect people's emails so that when you launch your product on Amazon, you can email all of them and you can let them all know on social media to go buy your product from day one. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get a ton of sales from day one, and this is gonna snowball into more and more sales. I just did this with a product I recently launched called Carnivore Electrolytes. We got around 37 sales on day one, and it took some time for the algorithm to realize that we have a good product, but now we're doing about 10 to 15 sales a day on Amazon, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing any marketing, nothing like that. I'll talk more about my results with that product later in this video. And for every story like Logan and Leanne, there's a story like Brent's. And Brent, as I mentioned, is doing over $1 million a year in sales on Amazon. Now keep in mind that is revenue. He's only doing around $300,000 profit per year, but still $300,000 profit per year. And he created this business while he was working full-time as a first responder helicopter pilot and raising 2 beautiful children. So if you don't think you have a lot of time, Brent had even less time and he was still able to create $1 million a year business. And what's crazy about his story is he started with just $25. He went and he'd buy the parts from Home Depot, sell that product on eBay for $50, and then next time he'd buy 2 units, and then 4 units, and then 8 units, and then eventually he had enough money for his first full production run where he had his product manufactured overseas. And one of the reasons why Brent has had so much success is he created a really cool product. He basically created a flamethrower that you could use to char up steaks after they've been sous vide. And it actually had a lot of different uses. But now let's talk about a quote unquote failure story. And the funny thing about this next story is I actually don't consider them a failure, and they would not consider their product a failure. They're very happy with their product. But from the outside, I could see how a lot of people might think that this product is a failure. And that's Karyna and Justin with smoothie cards. And when they told me about their product idea, I have to be honest, I did not think it was the best product idea. It was a set of 40 flashcards that had smoothie recipes. And when people see the kind of success that Ariana and especially AJ had with their flashcard products, I've had a number of students that want to create their own flashcards, and some work better than others. This idea was not my favorite idea, but they've still made some decent money. In their first month selling on Amazon, they did around $1,600 in sales and around $900 in profit. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money. And when I first heard about their story, I was like, oh man, I feel bad. This is gonna be a failure story. They're gonna be mad at me. And when I talked to them about it, they're like, no, like we're super excited to have created our product. And on top of that, Karyna said that because of all the skills that she's learned in launching her Amazon business, she got a new job that was paying her double. And that's one of the key things you need to know is that when you go to create your own business, a new business, it may not be a huge success, but what's gonna happen is you're gonna learn skills. And then either you're gonna take those skills and launch a second, a third, a fourth business, or you can go take those skills into the job marketplace and make way more money. And even though they're not the biggest success story I've had in my Amazon program, they're some of the biggest fans I've had of the program. They tell me all the time how much it's changed their lives. But Calvin's life was changed even more. He started an organizer business for around $6,000, And so far, he's done over $400,000 in revenue, over $100,000 in profit. And next week, Calvin's coming on the channel. We're gonna talk about his story and go over exactly how he did it. And Calvin's a young kid. He didn't have any experience selling on Amazon. He joined my Amazon FBA program, did over $400,000 in sales in his first year ever. And one of the key things I want you to know is if I can do it, if all these people can do it, you can do it too. But we do have a couple more stories I want to share before we really decide, is Amazon FBA a scam? And this next story is not a big success story. And this is Killian. He spent over $5,000 in startup costs. He's a dentist and he doesn't want to have to do the same job every day for the next 40 years. And he wanted to create a passive income business. So he joined my Amazon FBA program, spent over $5,000 in startup costs, and he's done about $8,000 in revenue and only about $2,000 in profit. He's been selling on Amazon for around 10 months. And this isn't a huge success story, but even with him, he's made $2,000 in profit. He's learned a ton of skills. And like I said, your first product may not be a huge success. In fact, my first business that I started over 10 years ago wasn't a huge success. I was making a little bit of money selling dance clothing online. But I realized that I wasn't passionate about dance clothing and that I wanted to sell something I was passionate about. That's when I had the idea to create PNB. If I would have never started the dance clothing company, I never would have had my $1 million idea. And sometimes your first business, your first product isn't that home run huge success. But if you keep going, by your second, third, fourth product, you're going to find something that is going to be a huge success. The only entrepreneurs that I know that have failed are the ones that have quit after their business didn't go the way they want. The entrepreneurs that I've seen that have success mostly are people that have started 2, 3, 4 businesses. Now, my goal with having my Amazon FBA program is that you can learn from my mistakes, that you can fast track your success. But sometimes people go through the program and they don't fully understand some of the concepts. They pick an idea that's not the best product. And one thing that we're adding to the Amazon FBA program is a way for you to validate your product. We have an entire module now helping you to validate that your product is a good idea before you spend any money on it. And Andrew is a good example of this. In his first year selling on Amazon, he did around $140,000 in revenue, around $45,000 in profit. But in his second year on Amazon, he's done over $500,000 in revenue. He lost his job, he had a growing family, and he needed some money. He joined my Amazon FBA program, and he didn't have crazy high results right away with only $45,000 in profit. That was just enough for him to be able to pay for his family. But by his second year, he started making more money. And that's the thing about entrepreneurship, is that it's exponential. At first, you might not make a lot of money, but then if every year your salary doubles and doubles and doubles, before you know it, you're making good money. And there have been a ton of other success stories, like Juliana, who launched a sports bra with built-in pads and did over $100,000 in her first year. Or Mina, who launched his electrolyte supplement and is doing over $100,000 in sales every month. There's also Jeremy with Slim Caddy, who did over $100,000 in just his first 6 months, and a bunch more people. And I've done video interviews with all these people on my channel. I have an entire playlist that I'll link down below with real honest results from real sellers. And I even just launched a new Amazon business called Carnivore Electrolytes, and it's done over $10,000 in sales in just about the first 6 weeks. And I did this without spending any time or money on marketing. We spent around $4,400 to get the product started, put it on Amazon, and we've since done over $10,000 in sales. And this is the exact method I teach in my Amazon FBA program. And I guarantee if you join my program that you'll make at least $1,000 profit in your first year, or I will personally refund you all the money for my program and give you $1,000 out of my own pocket. So when you join this program, you're guaranteed to make money if you follow all the steps and launch a product. On top of that, there is a 14-day money-back guarantee. If you want to learn about the program in depth, I made sure and price it at a very affordable price. So click on the link down below before it's too late if you want to get more information about joining my Amazon FBA program. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the program.